This is a review of the Movo WMIC10P wireless microphone system, which I am using right now to record this sound as well as the rest of this review. Inside the box there is a little carrying case to keep track of everything, and inside that case is the transmitter and receiver unit, as well as a lapel mic, 3.5mm cable to connect to your smartphone, and 3.5mm cable to connect to a DSLR, as well as a clip for the mic and a hot cold shoe for a DSLR camera. Cosmetically, the Movo WMIC10P is completely identical to the Boya BY-WM4 system. The boxes look identical. Everything looks like it's just exactly the same except for the branding. On top of the transmitter, there's a line in and a microphone in. On the top of the receiver, there's a line out and a headphone plug. On the side of the transmitter and receiver, there is a compartment for one AA battery. On the back of both transmitter and receiver, there is a handy clip. On the side of the transmitter and receiver, there is an on and off button and a volume up and down, as well as plus minus for navigating menu system. Switching the button on the side to on, and the blue light indicates that both receiver and transmitter are connected and can see each other. Also very useful to be able to plug in a headphone jack to be able to monitor what is going on if there is a clear signal. There is about a half a second delay between the sound that is coming into the microphone and then the sound that is coming out of the headphone jack, as well as the audio out jack, the line out jack. And that can be a bit distracting if you're listening to yourself as you are also trying to talk. The noise floor on these are not great. As with before, there is a buzzing or a humming, some sort of interference in the background. It's faint, but on systems with a preamp or other recording systems where there is auto gain control, where it constantly will try to maximize the volume level, that background noise, that noise floor is going to get way up. It's going to be raised, and it's going to be much more noticeable to hear that background humming, that noise. And that is something that is an annoyance. That is something that is bothersome to be able to hear in the background. I suppose using these systems in a very noisy environment, or in a situation where the subject, the person speaking, is very loud, that will minimize the background noise because the noise floor will be pushed down and the background noise is not going to be very audible. But if you are using this system in a more quiet environment, then that might be a problem, because then you will be able to hear that background humming, that background noise. Or if you are shooting a documentary interview situation where the subject will not talk all the time, where there will be sort of natural pausing, then that background noise will probably be audible. The other problem with this system, as well as the Boya BY-WM4, is the range. The range is not very great. Basically, line of sight 15 feet, maybe 20 feet, you will be able to have a good, strong connection. Anything beyond that, if there are walls or any other obstructions, then that will be a problem. Right now I have the lapel mic clipped to my shirt, and I'm standing with the transmitter in my hand. The receiver is on a table about 20 feet away, and there's a clear line of sight. As soon as I start turning around, there might be some problems as soon as you start turning around and the only obstacle is your body. No longer a clear line of sight, so as soon as you start turning around, and unfortunately, because this system is not very strong. Right now I'm holding the transmitter in my hand, the microphone is clipped to my shirt, the receiver is on a table, and I'm about 30-35 feet away. There is a direct line of sight, and the audio is fairly good from this distance, but as soon as I start turning around, unfortunately, that's just a very poor range. You really need to stay very close to your subject as you are recording, otherwise you are going to have dropouts. So maybe an interview situation where you are standing with a smartphone or a DSLR and you're standing only a few feet away from your subject and you're recording in that distance, and there's not going to be a lot of movement or a lot of obstacles in the way. That might be a scenario wherein this system will be useful, or any other scenario or situation where wires will get in the way and you sort of want to try to eliminate that. Then this system might be great for that, but it is not very reliable. The sound quality is not too great. It's, for the price, I suppose, okay, but it's not something for anyone who wants to try to have a professional production or a professional product, or reliable production for that matter, because you're not sure that you are going to have reliable results due to the sound quality and also due to just the extremely limited range on these things. Also worth mentioning is that the Movo WMIC10P is working on the 2.4 gigahertz system, which is also what the more expensive Rode system is using. And so perhaps Movo and Boya are trying to get in on that market with these lower priced versions. Of course, the Rode system has a much greater range and a much better voice quality, so of course there's a difference there. So I would not recommend the Movo WMIC10P that someone spend a little bit more money and maybe get a UHF system in the 500 megahertz range, because you are going to get that increased range and just a little bit more bandwidth and voice quality with those other systems.